Alright, so in the in-class survey I did, 38% of you guys said that you felt a little bit uncomfortable being around someone who had a mental handicap, and 50% of you guys said that you probably would feel uncomfortable speaking to someone who had a mental disability. This was definitely me during my junior year of high school, and my friends decided that we all should sign up for the gym class where we worked one-on-one with special education students. I was really nervous for this, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I ended up falling in love with the class and the students, and it became my favorite class that year. So today I'm going to tell you about the types of disabilities and who receives special education, what does special education involve, and then I'm going to give you some recommendations of how you can help and act in the future. So first, let me tell you about the different types of disabilities and who receives special education. This can be difficult to understand because people will act differently, and we may not understand why. The reason for this is that different disabilities will cause different people to respond in different ways. An article from LD Online states that federal education law identifies 13 categories of disabilities that qualify children for special education. According to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, there are these 13 disabilities. These include autism, deaf-blindness, visual impairment, hearing impairment, deafness, orthopedic impairment, mental retardation, emotional disturbance, specific learning disability, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, other health impairment, or multiple disabilities. I could go into greater detail about each of these disabilities and how it would affect the individual, but I would be up here all day. Just know that they exist and that different people will act differently, so this will help you with your future experiences. Next, we'll talk about what special education involves. An article from LD Online states that nationwide about 11% of people will be served by special education in their lifetime, which is a program that provides children who have disabilities with individualized attention. The following process from an article titled The IEP Staffing Process states that individualized education program is a document that directs the entire school program of a child. This helps ensure that appropriate education will be achieved and that all students with disabilities will be guaranteed their free, appropriate, individualized education. The IEP is an agreement between teachers and parents on how the child will be educated. It is written jointly by the parents and school personnel, and it includes formal and informal evaluations of the students, meetings between the parents and the teachers, and annual goals that will help to improve the child's education. Last, I'd like to give you some recommendations, and that's all they are, so that you can be better prepared in the future, because I would have appreciated these recommendations when I was younger, so I wouldn't have been as afraid. The 3 tips are: be respectful, be aware because they will be, and be yourself. This information is from an article called Assisting People with a Disability and from my own personal experience. The first tip is be respectful. My parents always said treat people as you would wish to be treated, and this is definitely applicable in this situation. So you need to be able to treat people in a manner that is appropriate for their age. So if they're children, treat them as children, and if they're adults, treat them as adults. And also regard the situation and use the person, or talk to the person as the person first and the disability second. Second, be aware because they will be. Most people with disabilities won't try and hide that they have a disability. So don't try to be over-assistive because you'll learn with each individual that they will usually be able to ask when they need help. And if you see them struggling, you can ask them if they need help, but don't start assisting them before they tell you that you can help them. Also, don't decide what they can and can't do. Let them choose and talk directly to them, not to the other people around. Third, be yourself. The majority of the people I've met with who are in special education would love to get to know you, and they have a lot of things to offer to you also. So just when you first meet them, find common interests as you normally would with for people when you meet them at first, and just be conversational with them. So today we've talked about the types of disabilities and who receives special education. what does special education involve, and some recommendations for how to act and help out in the future. My most important tip for you to leave with is just remember to be yourself and that each person is an individual. And so this knowledge will help you in the future because there is no knowledge that is not power, from Ralph Waldo